Good evening, mademoiselle.
Good evening, sir. How can I help you?
That was a magnificent dessert you served us tonight. I wanted to tell you personally how much both Monsieur Bouc and I enjoyed it.
Thank you very much, sir.
In fact, it is so good. Monsieur Bouc insists on knowing how you made it.
Oh, sir, I'm sorry. You must know a chef never gives away their recipes. But, well, you helped with the refrigerator, and without space in it for me, there would have been no dessert. Very well. To prepare tonight's dessert, first I melt sugar to make caramel. Then I spread this caramel to make tuiles. Between two tuiles, I add a small scoop of lemon ice cream, and I put the whole thing on a strawberry crown.
Poirot, you are suspicious even now. The pastry chef gave up her prized recipe a little too easily. I sense she wasn't entirely honest with me. Thank you for sharing your recipe with me, but I doubt those are strawberries you're using.
Oops. You have a good eye, Monsieur Poirot. Very well. What fruit do you think I used?
You used raspberries, not strawberries. I'm not fooled.
You're right. Mr. Bouc, he couldn't tell the difference. Let's move on to the bottom part of the dessert.
My favorite part of the dessert.
First, I melted some butter. I crumbled pieces of chocolate into the butter. Then I placed the mix in a circular mold. Finally, I let the whole thing cool down to let it harden.
It's certainly not chocolate that you've crumbled.
I see you do have an excellent palate. Do you know what ingredients I used?
A clever pastry chef might mix crushed biscuits with butter to create this delicious base.
That's it. You're getting closer to the entire recipe.
Closer? I've caught murderers with less difficulty than this.
I'll give you one last challenge. I'm sure you will be able to figure out the order I mix my ingredients in. If you can, you will have earned my recipe.
Mademoiselle, solving the murder of Roger Ackroyd was easier than this. No, 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 not good. I'm right again. That happens to me a lot.
As promised, my recipe is yours. Give me 5 minutes to write it down for you.
Thank you. I am in your debt. I can take advantage of this moment to resume my little observations of the passengers.
I made a lot of progress on the expenses last night, sir. I should be done by tomorrow morning.
You're supposed to be a fast worker, Hector.
Sorry, sir. Working here is not as comfortable as in our office in Boston.
You're lucky to ride in a train like this.
I must admit I'm not right this time. Think, Poirot. That is not a good answer. I do not think that's the right answer. That's the right answer.
Did you enjoy the meal?
I'm not used to meals like this.
You do not have good restaurants in Kenya?
Actually, we do. This is in the 1930s.
I did not mean to offend.
You didn't like the meal?
The lobster, it was undercooked, and the potatoes were too dry.
I expect, being Princess Dragomirov's assistant, you must be used to eating well.
Cooking is an art. You do not need to wear the chef's hat to be an artist.
What is your favorite dish?
Currywurst. It is a specialty of mine.
I must admit I'm not right this time. This is wrong. But I'm never far from the... Think, Poirot. That is not a good answer. I do not think that's the right answer. No, 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 not good.
Did you enjoy the meal?
I'm not used to meals like this.
You do not have good restaurants in Kenya?
Actually, we do. This is in the 1930s.
I did not mean to offend.
You didn't like the meal?
The lobster, it was undercooked, and the potatoes were too dry.
I expect, being Princess Dragomirov's assistant, you must be used to eating well.
Cooking is an art. You do not need to wear the chef's hat to be an artist.
What is your favorite dish?
Currywurst. It is a specialty of mine.
I'm right again. That happens to me a lot.
Here you are, sir. My recipe. Please tell Mr. Book he should not expect my recipes for the other desserts.
Thank you very much, mademoiselle. I know he will sincerely appreciate the gesture, and I will make certain he gets the message.
Yes, sir?
Poirot, you were gone such a long time.
It proved more challenging than I expected.
This is wonderful. Did it require the use of your little grey cells?
More the exercise of my little taste buds.
Thank you so much, my friend. Eat your dessert. You've earned it.
Good evening. My name is Ratchet. I think that I have the pleasure of speaking to Mr. Hercule Poirot, is that so?
You have been correctly informed, monsieur.
Your exploits are well known on my side of the Atlantic. In my country, we come to the point quickly. Mr. Poirot, I want you to take on a job for me. Are you interested in earning a lot of money?
My clientele, monsieur, is limited nowadays. I undertake very few cases.
Why, naturally. I understand that. But this, Mr. Poirot, means big money. Big money.
I do not think that's the right answer. Et voilà. What is it you wish me to do for you, Monsieur Ratchet?
Mr. Poirot, I am a rich man. A very rich man. Men in that position have enemies. I have an enemy.
Monsieur, in my experience, when a man is in a position to have, as you say, enemies, then it does not usually resolve itself into one enemy only.
Yes, I appreciate that point. Enemy or enemies, it doesn't matter. What does matter is my safety. My life has been threatened, Mr. Poirot. Now, I'm a man who can take pretty good care of himself. But as I look at it, a little insurance wouldn't hurt. And remember, big money.
I regret, monsieur, that I cannot oblige you.
What's wrong with my proposition?
If you will forgive me for being personal, I do not like your face, Mr. Ratchet. Now, if you wouldn't mind, I'd like to finish my coffee peacefully.
A nightcap, Monsieur Poirot?
A cup of coffee, Monsieur Fauché. Then I will retire to my new compartment.
I am sure you will find it to be most comfortable.
We have stopped?
Yes, sir. Belgrade Station. If you'd like to go out and get some fresh air, now is the time. The train leaves at 9:15.
No, I see that it is snowing. I will not seek out the fresh air.
Probably a wise decision. May I suggest a chocolate to accompany your coffee? It is produced by my father, the best chocolatier in Switzerland.
I would never refuse a chocolate with such high recommendation.
I know you will enjoy it, and please let me know if there is anything else you require.
My little gray cells did not let me down. Everything was perfect. Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Is there anything you require, monsieur?
No, merci.
Why, I thought you'd left us. You said you were getting off at Belgrade.
You misunderstood me.
But, man, your baggage, it's gone.
It has been moved into another compartment, that is all.
Oh, I see. I wish you a good night, Monsieur Poirot.
Good night.
I hope you'll sleep well and that your head will be better in the morning.
It is just the cold. I'm now making myself a cup of tea.
I hope it'll warm you up.
I hope so. Good night.
Well, good night, my dear. What a brave girl. On the other hand, that man there in the next cabin, Monsieur Ratchet, he scares the hell out of me. There's something wrong about that man. My daughter always says I'm very intuitive. When Mama gets a hunch, she's dead right. That's what my daughter says. And I've got a hunch about that man. He's next door to me, and I don't like it. I put my bags against the communicating door last night. I thought I heard him trying the handle. Well, whoever you are, I'm going right to bed to read. Good night.
Good night, madam. Whoever I am? Monsieur Ratchet seems very upset. Ah, finally a real bed fit for a king or a very tired detective.
Monsieur Ratchet?
Ce n'est rien, je me suis trompé.
Good night, madame.
The American lady?
Yes, don't worry. You'll know how Mrs. Hubbard is. Imagine to yourself the time I have had with her. She insists, but insists, that there is a man in her compartment. Just imagine it, monsieur. In a space of this size, where would he conceal himself? I argue with her. I point out that it is impossible. She insists. She woke up and there was a man there. And how, I ask, did he get out? And leave the door bolted behind him? But she will not listen to reason.
That one does not leave time to listen. The train has stopped, Mr. Michel?
We have run into a snowdrift. Heaven knows how long we shall be here. I remember once being snowed in for 7 days.
Where are we?
Between Vinkovsky and Brod.
Oh la la. It's time for me to go back to bed.
I wish you a good night, monsieur. Or what is left of it.
The train is still stuck and the snow continues to fall. I should have taken an airplane. Well, I must make the best of it and join the other passengers for breakfast. The train still hasn't left. Good morning, Monsieur Michel.
Good morning, sir. Please enjoy our special breakfast in our restaurant.
This delay is intolerable. I am supposed to be demonstrating the Firenze in Paris in 2 days.
Ah, your electric car. Yes, that's bad luck.
Bad luck? If I miss that demonstration, I'll be in deep trouble.
Just text your people in Paris and warn them.
Of course I tried that, but there is no network service in these mountains.
My daughter said it would be the easiest way in the world. Just sit on the train until I got to Paris. And now we may be here for days, and my boat sails the day after tomorrow. How am I going to catch it now? I can't even send an email to cancel it. I'm just too mad to talk about it.
My colleagues were to meet me in Paris. They will wonder what has happened to me. I can get no words to them. What will they think? We have refugees to help.
Good morning, madam. The snow is a predicament, is it not?
I am Russian. Snow is no stranger to me.
Ah, the accent. Would it be St. Petersburg?
You are very perceptive. Monsieur Poirot, is it not?
And may I take it I have the honor of addressing Princess Natalia Dragomirov?
We dispense with the old titles these days. My husband, all of my past, was taken from me by these Stalinists. When they were gone, I became director of the St. Petersburg Museum of Antiquities to restore and preserve what I can of my country's history.
Still, the delay must be vexing.
If I must be late for my appointments, then they will wait.
I know that I would certainly wait, madame. It has been my extreme pleasure to make your acquaintance, madame.
Au revoir, Monsieur Poirot.
A beautiful piano, what a luxury. Pity there's no one to play it. Mademoiselle, you are not concerned about the train stopping?
What can one do?
Indeed, this does not make the train move. You have great strength to remain calm at a time like this.
I know one far, far stronger than I.
And that is?
Well, that old lady, for instance. You have probably noticed her. She just has to lift her little finger and ask for something in a polite voice, and the whole train runs.
It runs also for my friend Monsieur Bouc, but that is because he is a director of the line, not because he has a masterful character.
You don't have to have a strong will when you have power. But I suspect I did not need to tell you that, Mr.
Poirot.
Mr. Poirot.
Good morning, Mr. Fauché. You have early customers, I see.
Yes, I am stuck serving here as well at breakfast. Everyone is impatient. They keep complaining that the train is not moving. As if I could get out and push it.
It's too early for me to order a boxcar. That is the appropriate drink, I believe.
A gin, triple sec, lemon and grenadine mix. A drink for a train indeed.
But not perhaps for my breakfast. I think I will settle for an omelette.
Good luck, sir. Miss Nielsen is helping to serve in the dining car.
How long are we expected to be stranded here?
It won't do much good complaining to me. That fellow there with the moustache, he may know something.
Excusez-moi, sir.
Yes?
Monsieur Bouc asks for you to join him in compartment 203.
Look here, Poirot. Can you tell us anything?
I can tell you the snow, it will not move aside on its own.
Of course, but you obviously have some influence with Bouc.
I am going to see him now. I will ask him if he has any information.
Monsieur Bouc is waiting for you. in front of room 203.
Ah, my good friend. Come in. We have need of you.
What has occurred?
A passenger lies dead in his bed. Stabbed.
A passenger? Which passenger?
In there. He's an American. A man called Ratchet. It was his valet, Masterman, who was worried that Mr. Ratchet was not awake yet. Pierre Michel, the conductor, decided to break in and found the body.
I see. Well, my friend, I think it is best not to touch anything and wait for the police to arrive.
Oh, I tried to call the police, but there is no cell tower for many kilometers. We could be stuck in the snow for hours. The murderer is with us. On the train, now! The sooner we catch him, the sooner we'll be out of danger. Dr. Constantine is already examining the body.
Mon ami, this is not a missing train ticket. We must follow procedure. We must wait for the police to secure the crime scene.
Please, Poirot. I will take full responsibility.
Book, you ask. Well, if we cannot contact the outside world, then... Oh, you are going to drive me crazy. In truth, this problem intrigues me. I was reflecting not half an hour ago that many hours of boredom lay ahead whilst we are stuck here. And now, a problem lies ready to my hand.
You accept then?
C'est entendu. You place the matter in my hands.
Mr. Poirot, I am Dr. Constantine.
Forgive me, Doctor. You are a medical examiner?
No, but I have assisted in post-mortems at Nairobi Hospital, where I am a teaching fellow.
I am familiar with your excellent institution.
I do not intend to perform a full autopsy, but a preliminary examination should be of some use.
Of course. May I have a look? Then we can compare notes.
Please. If you need any help, I won't be far away.
Think, Poirot. That is not a good answer. No, not good. My little gray cells did not let me down. I'm sorry, Doctor, but I must question you.
Of course. I must be considered under suspicion like everyone else.
May I know your movements last night?
I share compartment 101 with Mr. Book. He would not stop talking about his beloved train. I listened to him for hours talking about his Orient Express.
My friend Book will no doubt confirm this. Did you know the victim?
Not at all. I noticed him last night at dinner, but I did not pay much attention.
I assume the open window complicates matters.
Indeed. Conditions are not perfect.
What can you tell me about the victim?
He died from multiple stab wounds of varying angles and depth. More than one would have been fatal. I would place the time of death roughly between midnight and 2 a.m. With more time, I hope I can be more precise.
Did you touch anything in here this morning?
I checked for a pulse. There was none. Rigor mortis had commenced. The body was cool to the touch. I touched nothing else.
Thank you for your help, Doctor. Where can the killer have gone? The chain lock is broken. Monsieur Michel told me that he broke the chain on the door to get into the room.
As you see, the victim has been stabbed many times. Several alone would have been fatal.
Yes, I agree. An attack most savage.
I will, of course, prepare a complete report on my findings.
Thank you. I'll take photos. Did it belong to Ratchet? This phone was deliberately smashed. I'm sure I will find some interesting things inside. Last night, Monsieur Ratchet said he takes precautions. I see now what he meant. He knew he was in danger and wanted to be ready, yet it was no use to him. I will leave it here for the police. A handkerchief. There's a letter H embroidered on it. The watch is broken, the hands are stopped at 1:15 a.m. One would expect that to be the time when the attack occurred. I wonder what could be in this photo. A box of sleeping pills. This door communicates with compartment 204. The latch is open on this side. Daisy. Interesting. That was easy. Expensive clothing, recently laundered. Not exactly the reading material one would expect of a man like Ratchet. Not very surprising. Unusual letter, this. Ratchet had an appointment he will never keep. A meeting place on the back of a postcard. Someone with the initials A.W. I shouldn't leave until I have finished inspecting the crime scene. The snow is falling only lightly this morning. The murderer would have left tracks in the snow if he had jumped out the window. So, the murderer must have exited through Madame Hubbard's room.
I'm right again. That happens to me a lot.
I shouldn't leave until I have finished inspecting the crime scene. This door communicates with compartment 204. The latch is open on this side.
Et voilà.
I shouldn't leave until I have finished inspecting the crime scene.
This is wrong, but I'm never far from the truth.
I can't imagine Ratchet taking a sleeping pill if he feared for his life. My little grey cells did not let me down. That was easy. I think I've seen everything I need at the moment. I am counting on you to finish your analysis.
I'll have a more detailed report for you as soon as I can.
So, Poirot, did you find anything out?
It's a bit early for the handcuffs, my friend. Even for Hercule Poirot. Do not worry, mon ami. I believe our culprit has no plans to strike again. Monsieur Ratchet was the target. Of that I am convinced. Tell me, Book, how did you spend last night?
This is a joke, I hope. Don't you trust your old friend?
My friend, calm yourself. I must hear your story in order to corroborate other accounts.
Ah, naturally. Let me see. I went to my compartment after dinner. Dr. Constantine was already there. We talked about his career. He's a Cambridge man, you know. After university, he returned to his country and has done much good there. He was so interested in the Orient Express. I told him all the anecdotes I know. I'm not certain when we fell asleep, but it was very late.
Here is what I have found out. Monsieur Ratchet was stabbed many times. I also found threatening letters in his safe. He had a loaded gun under his pillow, so he was on guard, ready to defend himself. However, there was an empty glass with white residue at the bottom. I suspect a barbiturate. Perhaps he was forced to take it. In any case, I am certain he was unconscious, unable to defend himself. I also found several other items at the crime scene, possibly related to the murder. They must be investigated.
By all means, Poirot. As fast as you can.
I also found liquid for an electronic cigarette, but I could not find a vape. This might belong to the murderer.
This criminal is an amateur.
I need a list of the passengers with their compartment numbers.
Pierre Michel will have it.
I must interview the rest of the passengers and the staff.
I'll be in the bar car if you need me. We are hours late. Soon I hope help will arrive.
Good morning, madam. I am Hercule Poirot.
Caroline Hubbard. What can I do for you, Mr. Poirot?
I am the bearer of unfortunate news.
It's obvious with all the commotion that something has happened.
Madame Hubbard, I am afraid your neighbor, Monsieur Ratchet, was murdered last night.
Oh my God! I knew it! I knew it!
I would like to ask you some questions, but first, May I inspect your room?
Of course, yes, you must.
No, not good. I do not think that's the right answer. This is wrong, but I'm never far from the truth. No, not good. I must admit I'm not right this time. Think, Poirot, that is not a good answer. I must admit I'm not right this time. I'm right again. That happens to me a lot. The luxury of the Orient Express is present in every detail. This door connects to Monsieur Ratchet's compartment. It was latched on this side. Here is a jacket button. It bears the logo of the Orient Express. Madame, please tell me about last night.
The murderer was right here in my compartment. I woke up. All in the dark it was. I was just so scared I couldn't scream. I pressed the call button. I pressed and pressed. I heard footsteps running in the corridor, then a knock on my door. "Come in," I screamed. And I switched on the lights at the same time. And would you believe it? There wasn't a soul there.
You think he went back into the other compartment?
How do I know where he went? I had my eyes shut tight. The conductor came in. I told the man what had happened, and he didn't seem to believe me. I asked him to search the room, but he found nothing. I told the conductor to look at the door between the compartments, and sure enough, it wasn't bolted. Well, I soon saw to that. I told him to bolt it, then and there.
How is it you didn't bolt the door between the two compartments?
But I had. Well, as a matter of fact, I asked that Swedish lady, Olsen, Greta, if it was bolted, and she said it was.
How was it you could not see for yourself?
I was already in bed, and my toiletry bag was hanging on the hook of the door. I couldn't see the latch from where I was.
What time was it when you asked her to do this for you?
Oh, it must have been around 10:30 or 10:45 p.m. She'd come along to see if I had an aspirin. But instead of opening my door, she opened Mr. Ratchet's door by mistake. He said something quite rude, like, "Not a chance, lady, you're too old." It shocked her. She came in. I told her where to find the aspirin, and she got it out of my toiletry bag. Poor girl, she didn't have a good night.
The same could be said for Monsieur Ratchet. It appears Mademoiselle Olsen may be the last person to see Ratchet alive. Is this your handkerchief?
No, not at all.
Yet it is embroidered with an initial H, like your name.
I don't care. It's not mine, and I would certainly never buy something so impractical as that frilly thing.
Are you a smoker?
No, definitely not. Filthy habit.
I found a jacket button on your table. It looks like it belongs to... A train employee. The button bears the logo of the Orient Express.
Well, of course the conductor came in last night, but he didn't go near that table.
Still, it's a safe bet that it belongs to the conductor. I'll check his jacket later, to be sure. I have not finished inspecting your room. If you don't mind, Monsieur Michel, I must ask you a few questions if you don't mind.
I will do everything I can to help.
First of all, tell me about yourself.
Very well. My name, as you know, is Pierre Michel. I am from Calais. I've been with the company for over 15 years.
Thank you.
That's the right answer.
I found a button from an Orient Express staff jacket. Did you lose one by any chance?
No, monsieur. As you can see, I have all my buttons. It is not mine.
Can you provide me with a listing of the passengers and their rooms, please?
Yes, certainly.
Are you a smoker?
Indeed.
Do you smoke e-cigarettes?
No, tobacco only.
I would like to reconstruct with your help the events of last night. Monsieur Ratchet retired to bed. When?
Almost immediately after dinner, sir. Actually, before we left Belgrade.
Did anybody go into his compartment after that?
His valet, monsieur. Monsieur Masterman. And then his secretary, the young American gentleman, Monsieur McQueen.
And that is the last time you saw or heard of him?
No, monsieur. You forget that Monsieur Ratchet rang his bell around 12:40 a.m., soon after we had stopped. I knocked at the door, but he called out in French, "Ce n'est rien, je me suis trompé." I then left to answer another bell that had just rung.
Where were you at 1:15 a.m.?
I was sitting on my little seat at the end of the car, facing up the corridor.
Are you sure?
I left a little after 1 a.m. to speak about the snow with my colleague Jean in the bar car. I came back later. There was a call. I remember speaking to you.
Indeed, I remember. Carry on.
It was the American lady, Madame Hubbard. She thought she saw a man in her compartment. Then, around 1:50 a.m., I made the bed for Monsieur Ratchet's secretary, Monsieur McQueen. He had spent the evening talking with the English Captain Arbuthnot. At 2 a.m., I returned to my place and stayed there until dawn.
What is the last station where we stopped?
Vinkovsky.
Could someone have come on board?
Possibly. I was very busy. Owing to the weather, we were a few minutes late. We left at 12:10 a.m.
do not think that's the right answer. Think, Poirot. That is not a good answer. No, not good. My little gray cells did not let me down.